Kegels. They're a bit of a mystery, and you're probably doing them wrong or not as effectively as you could be doing them. So we're going to get down and make sure that you're doing a Kegel properly in the most effective way possible. So let's talk about what a Kegel is exactly. A Kegel is basically the name for a contraction of your pelvic floor. So that contraction is isolated to just that muscle. That bowl of muscles that sits in the bottom of our pelvis, as you see here, when it does a Kegel, it squeezes and then it lifts up. Or if we look at this picture here, there is that nice bowl of muscles sitting in the bottom of our pelvis. Now, what we're missing out on most of the time is the fact that our pelvic floor does not work by itself. It works in coordination with other muscles. When we do just a Kegel on its own, that squeeze and lift, or if you think about lifting your vagina up to your nose or lifting a marble up into your vagina, what that's doing is it's contracting the muscle by itself. It's not thinking about the incorporation of the other muscles that it's supposed to work with. If we look at this picture here, this is a picture looking sideways at our inner core. Our inner core is made of 4 muscles. Our pelvic floor is in the bottom. Our diaphragm, which is our breathing muscle, is in the top. Our transverse abdominal wraps around the front. Then we have one in the back called our multifidus. They are supposed to work in coordination with each other to contract and relax, to stabilize our spine and to keep us continent. Now, if we're not thinking about those other muscles when we're doing a Kegel, it's not going to be nearly as effective. Our pelvic floor and our diaphragm in particular, our diaphragm being our breathing muscle, they're the only 2 muscles that go through you front to back. They're stacked on top of each other inside, and they're supposed to rise and lower together. So when one goes up, the other goes up. As one goes down, the other goes down. If you're not thinking about your breathing when you're doing a Kegel, you're not going to be nearly as effective as if you're just squeezing that muscle. So I'm going to lay down and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So to isolate our pelvic floor all by itself, I'm going to think about lifting a marble up into my vagina. Or you can think about lifting your vagina up to your nose on the inside. Or if you were sitting on the toilet and you had to stop your pee from coming out, what would you do? That should be squeezing and lifting that bowl of muscles on the inside. Now, to incorporate our diaphragm and our inner core with that movement, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take a deep breath in into my rib cage and into my belly to make sure that I'm lowering my diaphragm. Now I'm going to breathe out and try to do that Kegel at the same time. So by breathing in first, I'm lowering my diaphragm, which should help relax my pelvic floor. I can even think about lowering my marble to the bottom. And then I'm going to breathe out, which helps to lift my diaphragm, and I'm going to squeeze and lift my pelvic floor. As you can see, my belly pulls a little bit inwards, getting that transverse abdominal muscle. So I do a nice deep breath in. Pelvic floor relaxes or lowers. Breathe out. Do my Kegel. My belly will pull inward. Okay, let's try a few more. Deep breath in. Relax your pelvic floor. Breathe out. Do your Kegel. One more time. Deep breath in. Relax. Breathe out and Kegel. You can try that in different positions, such as lying, sitting, or even standing up. That might feel very weird or uncoordinated to start. You might feel like you have to really think about it, or that it's not a natural movement for your body. This means you really need to work on getting those muscles coordinating, as this is how our body should work, and that should feel like a very natural movement to us. The more you practice this, the easier it'll get. The more effective your pelvic floor will be at strengthening, the more effective your pelvic floor will be at working with the rest of your body when you're moving, when you need to stop those bladder leaks. So if you're someone that's doing a lot of Kegels, either sitting in your car, laying in your bed, doing your dishes, I want you to do it this way instead. You will thank me later. Click on the link in the description to take you to my free pelvic floor webinar. It's going to talk all about your pelvic floor, teach you exactly what's going wrong with your pelvic floor so you can really get to those underlying issues. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos, and leave me a comment below if you found this video helpful.